My name is Gwendolyn.
Into, the meaning of all this and how there's so much that we don't know, but yet we're involved in, but we don't know.
My name's Jackie and I'm a local government worker.
Amazing. I mean, a lot of people were like, oh, I didn't know that. What's going on here? And, quite a surprise. It's very enlightening for a lot of people to give this new knowledge.
I really think it's to go over it again because it's a lot of information and it's literally, you just don't understand what the hell is going on.
Can you just read that out for me from the top?
Okay, a person, a man considered according to the rank he holds in society, with all the rights to which the place he holds entitles him.
And the duties which it imposes. A human being considered as capable of having rights and of being charged with duties.
While a thing is the subject over which right may be exercised.
Artificial persons, such as are created and devised by law for the purposes of society and government, called corporations.
Natural persons such as are formed by nature as distinguished from artificial persons or corporations.
Private person, an individual who is not the incumbent of an office.
What do you see yourself as out of them?
I see myself as a person with, according to a certain rank in society, and duties that I hold, if you like.
Well, I know I'm not an artificial person now because that's what you spoke about a few weeks ago.
As a human being.
Well, originally, without reading this, if someone said, what are you? I would say I'm a person. But knowing what I know now, I know that the way I'm seen now is an artificial person. And that's because it's created by law and society and government. We're a corporation.
I think I am a natural person. That's what I thought I am.
And I see myself as a natural person because I'm formed by nature.
Well, I would say I'm a human.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
I would, of course I'm human, but I would define a natural person such are formed by nature as distinguished from artificial persons or corporations. I think I'm a natural person. I was formed by nature.
You say you class yourself as a natural person, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So could you just read me the two definitions of natural? What would probably relate to you?
Oh dear. Natural born subject, in English law, one born within the dominions, or rather within the allegiance of the King of England. No, I don't have that.
Natural fool, a person born without understanding, a born fool or idiot, sometimes called in the old books a natural.
Do you hear what you just said there?
Yeah, a born fool.
A person born without understanding, or born fool or idiot, sometimes called in the old books a natural. Really? Okay, I've not seen that.
What's your thoughts? What are you thinking there?
Well, I've never seen that before. A natural. Really?
Well, I'd say I was born without understanding, I guess.
Well, it says that you're a subject. Assuming I believe that you're a natural person, being that you're born within nature, as free as nature, that quite implies quite strongly that you're a subject of the king, or in this case, queen.
So which one out of them two would you class yourself as?
Neither.
I know it sounds crazy, but natural fool.
Okay, that's cool.
Person born without understanding. I definitely born because I had to learn.
As a fool.
Yeah?
Because it says a person born without understanding.
Yeah?
Okay.
Keep going.
A born fool or idiot, sometimes called in the old books a natural.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say I'm a natural fool.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes. Wow.
Well, if they're classing me, I'll be probably the fool
And why would that be?
because I don't know nothing, according to them.
Had to.
Cool. That's not a problem. It's
I
good.
don't know.
Well, that's quite surprising because, in effect, it's saying that we are born as subjects of the Queen of England.
But why wouldn't it be a natural fool? Because I'm born without the understanding of the system that I'm living within.
Which, which we are born,
Well, me, myself, natural born subject.
That's quite surprising, that is. Yes. It's reminding me of the feudal system, if you like. That's what it conjures up, We are just subjects of the Queen.
So now going back to that list again, which one do you think the system would see you as?
I would say a person, a man considered according to the rank. Because the system, the ranks that you hold in society with all the rights to which the place he holds entitles him. I would say a person.
Well, natural born subject.
I would look at it again, I would say like artificial person.
One born within the dominions, or rather within the allegiance of the King of England.
Well, I think the system sees us as artificial person.
From that as a person, I suppose.
Which one?
Probably as an artificial person.
Or, no, a human being. Sorry, a human being, I think.
The system would see you as that, yeah?
Considered as capable of having rights.
Okay.
And of being charged with duties. Well, yeah, I think so.
Such as are created and devised by law for the purposes of society and government, called corporations or bodies politic.
So they see us as artificial people.
Yes, so they've created the man by law, and they see me as a corporation, yeah.
It says it here, doesn't it? Such as created and devised by law for the purpose of society and government.
Okay, cool.
And we're run by governments, aren't we? It's just, we have a society and it's the law. So I assume that it'd be the artificial person.
For depending on what scenario they want us in.
Yes, this says human laws.
Created and devised by human law.
Thank you.
Oh.
Well, an artificial person is created for to make money, basically. That's how I see it.
Well, we have our free will, so you can choose to go and work for an organisation or create your own enterprise. That would be more of your own passion. But many people go to work to pay the bills. I think if you ask the majority of people in society, they would say, I don't really like my job, but they need to keep the roof above their head. I've worked in many organisations. If you have a work ethic, you're going to go to work.
Brilliant.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting.
Is United Kingdom a country or a corporation?
Well, we're led to believe it's a country, but I believe it's a corporation.
I will say a country, but I know that it's also a corporation.
United Kingdom is a corporation.
I say it's a corporation,
Okay.
a bit like America.
United Kingdom is a corporation. Where's the proof?
Well, if I'm meant to be an artificial person and I'm a corporation, then if the United Kingdom is...
Well, can you show me proof?
No, I can't show you proof.
Okay, cool.
Is there proof?
Have you found proof that it's a corporation or a country?
Well, I think the way it deals with its subjects, if you like, subjects,
Okay.
I should use that word, is implies that it's a corporation.
Okay, I can't... Okay, I think it's a corporation. Just like I think America's a corporation. It's a business.
Artificial persons.
Where would you go and look for corporations?
Company House.
There you go.
So then
So if you went
United
to
Kingdom
companies-
will be there and Company's House.
So did you know that United Kingdom is actually registered on Company's House as a company?
Yes.
Do you know what Company's House is?
I've heard of it. Company's House.
Do you know what Company's House is?
Yeah, companies' houses, like for instance, if I have I could go and look on Companies House, look at all the businesses, look at their turnover, their revenue, who the CEO is, who the last CEO was, all that, etc. So, and also if you have an organisation, if I was like a sole trader, I mean, you put your information onto Companies House, etc. So you'd be like a registered, certified company.
If you hold a United Kingdom passport, who do you belong to?
You belong to the United Kingdom as part of the corporation, under the corporation.
What is your passport?
I should have bought my passport. My passport's United Kingdom.
It's a financial building, isn't it? Company's House. Tax? No. Company's House.
So if you're an individual or private person, who are you then?
You're saying United Kingdom's corporation, so that makes you a part of their corporation.
Yeah,
It makes you a staff member.
it does.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Okay. And would you agree with that?
I would agree to some, yeah, I would agree to some extent. Yes, I would agree.
Yes, I understand that. Yes.
So is that for a country or a company?
Well, if it's registered and United Kingdom's on Companies House, then it's a corporation, isn't it? It's a company.
So once you buy yourself, you can then be a private person.
Because it states that this is a private limited company.
Company.
So have you checked Companies House to see if United Kingdom's a corporation?
I definitely haven't, but
You
I will, you know what? I will definitely be doing that.
I'll tell you that it is anyway.
Aha.
So it's registered on Companies House.
Hello.
as a corporation.
You look at
You
this.
see?
Company's House, United Kingdom Limited, and then it's got the company number 03.
So who do you hold a passport for?
For the United Kingdom, which is the company
There you
of
go.
the United Kingdom.
Well, it's understanding private person more. An
Right.
individual who is not the incumbent of an office.
Well, if they're the company and they hold the passport and I'm the one that's carrying it, then you could look at it like that, definitely, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now,
Because they can take your passport away from you at any time. Do you know what I mean? They can sanction, they can tear it up, they can do whatever they want at any time to your
There you go.
passport.
can you just read that out for me?
Right, legal name under common law consists of one Christian name and one surname.
And the insertion, omission, or mistake in middle name or initial is immaterial.
Okay, what does that say to you?
Well, it's saying your legal name under common law is your surname, your first name, your Christian name, i.e., and your surname. And whether you have a middle name or not, it's not relevant.
So they're saying a legal name can be a Christian name and a surname.
It's not can be.
It is. Consists of a Christian name and a surname. So
Right.
in my case, Marilyn.
Right.
And if you put in a middle name, yes, that doesn't matter.
So, legal name under common law consists of one Christian name and one surname.
Stop there.
Is if I just said Marilyn, they couldn't go any further.
No. They need both names to create joinder with the legal entity.
Your Christian name and your surname.
Right. So you got the two names.
Yeah.
Well, on its own, I'm not sure what to say really. It's just saying that under common law, that's what it consists. Your Christian name and your surname, and whether you have a middle name or you use an initial as a middle name.
They're trying to get you to attach yourself to the legal name.
That was given.
Legal name is your Christian name and surname.
And they're giving you a legal name to parade around with. Right. So when the police ask you, for example, what's your name, and they get your full name, what are you giving them?
My legal name.
There you go.
Can you say it again?
Right. So when the police ask you, for example, what's your name, and they get your full name, what are you giving them?
My legal name.
There you go.
So that's your immaterial.
Yes. So therefore, it then infers, what is outside of that. What is your name outside of that, or what does it consist of?
And gone into contract law.
So there you go, with the legal name.
But people don't realise that
Thank you.
we don't
Because they
realise we're doing it.
Why is that? Is it because they're under? Because they're doing? Are they? Is that because they're under human law? What? Why? Why don't you have to give them your full name?
You don't have to give him your full name.
You can just give them your first name.
Yeah, you're not obliged to give him your name.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't appear as if I own that name, and it appears as if I'm an artificial person.
No, I just understand credit and debtor in terms of finance, I suppose.
Is that where they're talking about admiralty law? Okay, because that's flying around now as well.
It's recognised under what?
Common law.
There you go. So it's saying, under common law, a legal name which you can use consists of a Christian name and a surname. That's what that says to me. Would you agree with that?
That's what it says to me, yep.
So what happens now? Because I remember I said to you the night that I did it, right, I did it. So what happens now?
Yeah. Could you just read that through from the top?
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, 4 corners. The face of a written instrument, that which is contained on the face of a deed.
Without any aid from the knowledge of the circumstances under which it is made.
It's said to be within its 4 corners because every deed is still supposed to be written on one entire skin.
And so to have but 4 corners, I don't know what the hell that means. To look at the 4 corners of an instrument is to examine the whole of it.
So as to construe it as a whole.
Without reference to any one part more than the other.
Do you understand what that was saying?
So what is written in these 4 corners is it saying that this is the legal like paper? Hold on.
Well, what they're saying is they're looking at the whole document instead of just part of it.
So that to look at the 4 corners of an instrument is to examine the whole of it.
Right.
So as to construe it as a whole without reference to any one part more than another.
Yeah, there's 4 corners. So we have to look at we have to look at all perspectives.
Right.
In layman's terms, yeah?
When you look at the certified copy of an entry,
Yes.
is that one whole entire skin?
No.
So is this saying that this is a legal entry as well because it's written within this?
So it's a whole evaluation of the document.
You have to look at every perspective, every corner. We can't just look at the 2 corners and not the other.
Is that how you see it? Yeah. And
Yeah,
what it's saying?
we have to unpack everything.
Okay.
It would only read what's on the outside of the page.
Right. So you're claiming that's your document, but you're not even on there.
Certificate of incorporation of a private limited company.
Why?
Because it's according to the 4 corners, it's without reference to any one part more than the other, so it's all on one skin.
And what does that say at the top of that document?
This is a certificate of incorporation of a private limited company.
A title deed would be like a tenancy agreement or something of that name.
This one is all on one page,
Okay.
so that's giving you information, but this one is all like separated. It's all, you can read all this, but you can't do this
Why can't?
because it's all boxed off, separated, different colours.
Certificate of incorporation of a private limited company.
And it's got a company number.
Is that are you talking about in all areas? So we're talking even if someone says, what's your name in a shop, what's your name? The police asks you your name and you'll say...
Certificate of incorporation of a private limited company.
And it's from the Register of Companies for England and Wales.
A certificate of incorporation of a private limited company, and it's from Companies House.
This can be thought of as your company's birth certificate. Right.
Artificial person.
The name is written in capitals.
It's a certificate of a private limited company to say that you're registered.
It's written in capital letters with limited at the end.
In capital letters. So it's first name, middle name, surname with a limited on the end.
The rest information is not that applicable.
Did you know that all companies are written in capital letters?
Yes.
At first I wasn't aware, but now I've realised, yes, that companies' names are written in capital letters.
This would be I think this would be a legal document, though.
I never realised that before, but yeah, that's...
Well, this one says certified copy of an entry.
Mm-hmm.
And it says birth on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a number
Okay,
at the
that's...
top.
This document that I see it as is that it's a document telling you that you have this company in this name and you was given the company on a certain date.
Yeah. The surname's really capital.
The other one says certificate of incorporation of a private limited company, and it's got a company number that's different to your birth certificate.
Yeah, boxes.
Right.
Boxes, yeah, it's all sectioned off.
Okay.
The birth certificate is in boxes. And it's all sectioned off. Each it seems to be separated.
Okay, cool.
No, well, this document, it's not in a box,
Okay.
which is quite clear, whereas this document, everything's in a box.
Do you know that every corporation is written as capital letters?
Yeah.
To know that you are the owner of the house, what do you get?
You get the deeds.
Thank you.
Oh, so this is the deeds. Ah, okay. So this is the deeds.
It's the title deed.
Four corners, if you like.
Ah, okay.
Okay, you see the blue slip? That first top line where it says original...
So original incorporation certificate. This can be thought of as your company's birth certificate.
Thank you.
Is it this little blue one?
Yeah.
Original incorporation certificate. This can be thought of as a company's birth certificate.
Incorporation certificate. This can be thought of as your company's birth certificate.
I think I need to get one of these, yeah?
There you go.
I definitely need.
Could be seen as a birth certificate.
What original incorporation certificate? Yeah, this can be thought of as your company birth certificate. Okay, weird.
It's a registration document for a private company.
Which is kind of strange, isn't it? In the wording they use, saying it's your company's birth certificate. Yeah.
From company's house.
Right.
Yeah, so you own the name you owe the name of this company.
This can be thought of as your company's birth certificate. Why would they use that word?
It details the company's name, incorporation number, country of origin and age.
This is just, this one's saying a certified copy of an entry. So you've been entered. Now look, prior to this conversation, I wouldn't have read it like that because automatically I would have said it was a birth certificate.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I did do some research on that years ago. Yes, I did. All companies are in capital letters. So therefore...
Oh, isn't it just giving notification that you've bought yourself?
But this one is saying, it's not actually saying that it's a birth certificate.
So this is my birth certificate.
Thank you.
So this is your title deeds
For the company.
for the company, okay, which you are.
Different languages. I mean, it doesn't that... isn't that like Latin? Because a lot of the word...
What's different about them both?
So this one hasn't got any boxes. There's no limited.
This is now the documentation you can use to prove who you are.
It's not who I am.
Well, your company.
That I own that
the company, yes.
Don't know.
Who owns that company is the question.
Well, it's it's amazing, really. It really does highlight how we are artificial persons unless we buy ourselves,
Okay.
you know, and become a private person.
You don't need to read the whole thing. Just
Okay.
read the first few
Okay.
lines of
Okay.
each one.
Okay. I'm just making it bigger because I.
Sure.
Okay, I'll just come closer. An express contract is an actual agreement of the parties, the terms of which are openly uttered or declared at the time of making it.
Being stated in distinct and explicit language, either orally or in writing.
An implied contract is one not created or evidenced by the explicit agreement of the parties.
But inferred by the law as a matter of reason.
That basically means they're not telling you that you're a company, and they don't have to tell you that either.
No, they're implying that I'm a company.
This is expressed,
Okay.
and that's implied.
Why?
Well, there's nothing in this. It doesn't tell you anything because of the four corners. Whatever's in the four corners not really count. It just doesn't count.
Okay, yeah. So an implied contract is not, it's not evidence.
Yeah. They don't have to show you
They don't have
any
to show you
evidence.
it.
They don't have to
Yes.
tell you that there's a contract there.
Yes.
Do you see?
So implied, it doesn't have to be something that you. Like if I'm going to come in contact with, make a contract with you, I'm going to say, well, Carl, we're going to do this, and this is our agreement. There's nothing like that happens.
Is that expressed or implied?
This one's expressed
Why is it expressed?
because it's telling you everything. It's telling you all the information you need to know.
Okay. The difference between implied and expressed.
Yeah, because you're expressing.
There you go.
So it's not like a felt need. You've expressed that need or you've expressed that concern. So it's out there.
Perfect.
If you imply something, implied contract is one not created. Yeah, because it's slightly blasé.
You see.
It's not so. You haven't stated your case, if that makes sense.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
In small, it's all lowercase.
So which one would you say is the implied? Which one would you say is the expressed?
Express. That's interesting, isn't it?
Right. So then that one, the implied, because there's more going on with it,
Thank you.
basically.
And what's expressed?
It's made out to your limited company.
But is it?
It can't be your limited company
Why?
because it's not in capitals.
Why not?
Because it's implied.
So I would say this is okay, this is expressed, this is implied.
Brilliant. Excellent. Signed up on one entire skin.
Yes.
Which one would be?
This one.
Do you see?
The actual certificate of incorporation of a private limited company.
That
Okay.
would be the expressed contract.
Okay.
Yeah, implied. It's not well known. They're not telling you directly. They're not giving you the information that they should be giving you.
So this is the express because it is what it says on the paper, basically.
There you go.
There's nothing hidden
There you go.
in that.
What hides it?
The boxes hide it on this one.
There you
The
go.
four corners. Because
See,
it's not a deed. It's not four corners. This is a deed and it's got four corners.
In effect now that I've got this limited company, all the gas bill and all of that kind of thing, I'm not even supposed to be paying them those bills because that's not me.
This is expressed.
But looking at the document as well,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah, it's expressed because it's an
What did
agreement.
it say in the four corners?
In the four corners, it said that it has to cover the entire skin.
Right.
Certificate of incorporation of a private limited company.
So what I should be saying is,
Yeah, I can see that. You got to think about it, but yeah, it does make sense. It's all about words. It's all about how they've put these words in law books, and that's how the law uses it to entwine you into their system.
Their legal system.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas this is implied
Why?
because it's not written on the entire skin.
Well, the implied is that you don't necessarily know what the agreement is because it's not it's not explicit to you.
So what do they do then?
So what they're saying is everybody needs to know this guy has just bought this.
A warning, a certificate is not evidence of identity.
Thank you.
Hello. Right in your face.
In the actual documentation
And when was that birth certificate created?
when you were born.
Right. So was you at the age to be considered of doing a contract?
Oh no, not at all.
Because it doesn't cover the four corners, it's not on the attire skin, and it's implied.
So it had to be implied.
Yes, yes, yes,
Do you see?
yes,
It couldn't have been expressed.
yes.
Because you was too young to understand what expressed and implied stands for.
Fair point.
But because it's implied, they're not going out their way to tell you that. They're waiting for you to find that out. You have to find out yourself through mistakes or whatever.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah?
So this is an illusion then, really.
Do you understand anything about contract law?
No.
I understand a contract myself. Contract law, no, because I've never studied it.
Parties competent to contract. The parties to a contract should be competent, being of the age of majority stroke consent and of sound mind, and not disqualified from contracting by any law to which she or he is subject.
A flaw in capacity may be due to minority, lunacy, idiocy, drunkenness, or status.
The status of the parties should be of like kind, being artificial legal person, an artificial legal person.
Or living man or woman, living man stroke woman, allowing two or more parties, but never a mixture of these kinds.
But never a mixture of these kinds.
Never a mix of these kinds.
Never a mixture of these kinds.
Never a mixture of these kinds.
Brilliant. Perfect. Now what does that say to you?
Oh, it's a bit hard to understand.
So the contract should be between same people or company or, corporation.
So both have to be artificial. So I have to be an artificial company, and then whoever's I'm doing business with has to be also an artificial company.
Oh, so only artificial persons can do business with artificial persons.
No, you need to kind of just,
That's cool.
you
All
know.
right. What did we say an artificial person was when we looked in the legal dictionary? Remember, contracts can only be made between two of the same kind.
Yeah.
If I ask you the question, do you have a contract with British Gas?
A corporation.
Right.
Corporation, yeah.
Because I'm a man and the company, the gas company, is a corporation.
So if you can't have a contract with DVLA, who's having a contract with DVLA?
It's a company, so it must be the... It's a company. It's a company. So
It's the company that they created in my name.
Well, they're creating a contract with me.
But with who?
Yes, because we're not equal, are we? We're not the same.
So who's the other kind who can do a contract together?
Living man stroke woman and living man stroke woman.
What name's written on your logbook? What name's written on there?
my name
No, but what? Yeah, but what? How is it written?
in capitals.
Right. So what does the last part say?
Allowing two or more parties, but never a mixture of these kinds.
Do you own the company? What they're writing to in all capital letters?
In all capital letters, no.
Do you own the company?
No.
So why are you paying it? You're taking responsibility and liability for something that you don't own.
You can only do it with like attracts like. The same language, the same people.
So therefore, if you are a company, if you bought yourself, then only then, and it's up to you if you want to have a contract with British Gas or whoever, But as you are, say, as we are now as people, they've created a contract with us, with our artificial person, not with us as a, as a private person, unless we've bought ourselves.
In the legal, what you've just read, can you do that?
No, you can't.
Why?
Because you can only do it with like-minded people, like a living man or woman. You have to be the same thing.
If the DVLA is having a contract with you, they can't have a contract with you. Why?
Because DVLA is a company and I'm a woman.
Then how can you be paying the bill?
Yeah.
And who's paying the bill? And you're paying the debts for that company you don't own.
Why have they got us doing this?
How was the name written?
Yeah, in capitals.
Right, right.
Oh.
So what do they have to do to you?
They have to make me into company, and they do that by putting my name all in capitals.
Right.
But when did they... So they created this... I can't remember when.
1836.
But that was post 3 years after slavery.
Now, what letters are after your name?
None.
So what kind of company does that make you?
Corporation. Is that right? No. I'm a corporation.
But what kind of corporation? But you don't own that company.
Yeah,
So why are you taking responsibility for it?
good question.
Well, it's not limited because it's not, no word's limited there.
The way how the law has gone now, that they've taken the right away from us to be companies. You know, when you were doing I'm a contractor, so I'm not allowed to do that. They're saying to me, I'm not allowed to do that anymore. I have to go under pay as you earn. So it can be quite complex.
If that's not your name, and that's a company name, yeah, who does that belong to?
So therefore, once I bought myself, I wouldn't need to have any dealings with them at all.
Not at all.
Well, they didn't stop me from buying. I had a limited company to deal with my tax, so I was paying little and next to nothing.
Government.
Why?
Because they drew it up. They created it.
Created what?
The name, the corporation.
These are the questions that need to be answered, isn't it? But unfortunately, I don't have the answers. I just have to. Oh my God! It's just mind blowing.
A director of a company is not going to go and do negotiations with a secretary.
That's true, yes. That's a good point, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that.
Well, we pay them.
Who's we?
The corporation.
As a contractor and having to create... So I was living a good life and now they've taken it away from us and we've had to come under.
So who owns the corporation then?
The government.
So why are you paying the taxes for something you don't own? How does that make you feel in a certain sense?
Well, it's beginning to make me understand more about how we're trapped, I suppose, how they keep us controlled and trapped unless we buy ourselves. So yeah, it's a minefield, isn't it, really?
I get it. So you have to take ownership of your company.
Everything. Doing business with the same kind.
Yes.
Would that have ever crossed your mind?
No. And that's the thing, unless you read at what these actual words mean, you make assumptions on what you think they mean. And that's the problem, isn't it?
This is it.
We'll have to talk again because...
So, do you know what that document is?
No, not fully.
Well, the initial heading is Instruction Manual for the Completion of the 4-Part Birth Notification Form.
Is that the original document for your birth, would you say?
No. Just certified copy.
Okay.
It says a copy of entry. So therefore there must be an original somewhere because this is a copy.
Can you tell me what that document is?
It says, do you want me to read the title on top of it? Notification of birth to the Registrar of Births.
Cool. Do you know what that document is?
Well, I know what this document is. This is a document that if I'm correct, the midwife gives to the birth mother to sign, and then you take this document to registrar, birth registrar, whatever it's called.
Instruction Manual for the completion of the 4-part Birth notification form.
Yes, it's just the notification of a birth of a child.
Instruction manual for the completion of the 4-part birth notification form.
Do you know what that is?
Perinatal statistics report. Do you know something? I mean, I do a lot of reading and stuff, but I have never, BNFO1 form, never come across this. So
So the birth notification form is your original document, what was created for you
Yep.
when you was first born. That was the first original document. That's the midwife's manual
Yeah.
to fill out.
Okay.
Yeah?
Well, this will be the birth certificate. And also, yeah, because this is, if it's like this, where I read on that pamphlet, where it says, sorry, let me just get the pamphlet, what it says.
Yeah.
It says, this can be thought of your company's birth certificate.
Right.
There are 4 parts of the birth notification form. Part 1, white copy to the Registrar of Births.
2, yellow copy to the Director of Public Health and Medicine.
Part 3, green copy to the National Perinatal Reporting System, Healthcare Pricing Office.
And 4, pink copy for the hospital's own records.
Healthcare Pricing Office. Okay.
This is certified copy of entry. This one is notification of birth.
Right, so how is the name written on the certified copy of an entry?
The different sections of the completed form should be forwarded to the destinations specified at the top of each page.
Can you just read the top of that document?
Notification of birth to the Registrar of Births.
Now, do you understand what that is?
Yeah, now this is making a bit more sense.
So, what did it say the first one was?
It's a white copy to the Registrar of Births.
Stop. Yeah?
And that's the person writing out the certificate.
Right. Have you ever seen the birth notification form?
Don't think I have.
So do you understand what that's saying here?
Yes, so it's sent to 4 different
Yeah.
departments, if you
And
like.
what was the first department it was sent to?
Registrar of Births.
Have you ever seen a birth notification form?
Never.
That was the original document made for you first in the hospital when you was born.
Aha.
And that document was sent where?
To birth. That's
Right. And then what did you get from them?
my.
Right. What did you just say?
Name and surname.
What is that?
It's a legal name.
Thank you. Now look on the other document.
Notification of birth, the Registrar of Births.
Full name,
Right.
surname.
Right. Are they in the same box?
Yeah.
Are they separate? Or are they on the same line?
They're separate. They're on.
Thank you. So is that a legal name?
If they're separate, is that a legal name? No.
It counts really for nothing.
There you go.
So this has to be sent separately to the Registrar of Births.
Right.
This one.
Can you tell me what that is?
Notification of birth to register birth. So this is what they would get in the hospital.
That's the actual document what the hospital would send to the birth registrar.
Right. So
Yeah.
as soon as my baby's born, they fill this out and they
Now-
send it off.
And they give you what document?
This is a certificate, birth certificate.
Thank you.
Right. So it's like basically 4 sections.
So that's how they cover themselves.
Yeah, the registrar, but this is the first ever certificate. This is the first piece of information about you from when you first come out. This is the first of 4.
Aha. And I'm just looking at the layout.
And it looks like what? Looks like a ledger, innit?
It does.
Accounting ledger.
Yes, that's right.
On there, they're joined together.
Yeah.
On there, they're separate. Which one's the legal name? You just read it. There you go. Why? Because they're both together. Right.
That's right.
And what happens on a ledger? On the left-hand side is the debtor.
Aha, and the
And on the
creditor.
right side is the creditor.
Hello.
Have you ever seen that document before?
No.
It says infant's details.
So what did you just say there?
Infant's details.
And then what's there?
It says date of birth. What's that say down there? That would be your name, surname, your sex.
Okay, stop there.
Yeah.
So what was the top one where you said about surname? What was above surname? They create a legal name
Right.
on that document. It's not a legal name on that document.
No.
4 names, sorry, it's so little, yeah. It's 4 names, yeah.
Getting ripped off. Yeah, man. That's what's going on. We've been ripped off. We should have this one.
4 names would be your middle name.
No, forename would just be your Christian name.
Well, it's got to the left, it's got like infant details, i.e. forename, surname, sex. And it's got father's details, forename, surname, birth, surname.
Cool. And they have to take the names off that document to put it on their document. What do? What did the legal name consist of?
Christian name and surname.
Right. So when we looked at the certified copy of an entry,
Notification of birth to the Registrar of Births.
what's it called though?
Birth notification form.
Yes, hello. Not on the same line. Yes, you're right.
It's got
And then on the right side,
A or B section, yeah, on the right side. And it's just got non-computerized offices. It's just got a date of registration, entry number in register. And at the top of the document, it's got a case number.
Because really, that should be on 2 different lines.
and what is that document?
The certified copy of entry.
Right, into what? Entry into where?
God knows.
And children still living, stillbirths, live births, spontaneous abortions, perinatal death.
What was the first name you was given when you was born?
Before I was named properly. I don't know. Maybe I was baby.
Okay, what
Baby.
was your first name though? I mean, like, what the name was given to you when you was first born?
Gwendolyn.
You sure?
I don't even know.
Birth
Birth certificate. And this is what we should have. All right. But where you haven't got it, we've got the birth certificate in here. So the birth certificate is probably about the...
Yes, even though you're often asked for that.
How would they recognise that was you? And your mum ain't even thought of your name yet?
Oh, that's baby O'Garrow. So they would use my mum's surname.
Right.
Yeah.
So your first name they gave you
Yeah.
was your surname.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is the forename and surname together or are they separate?
They're separate.
Right, they're separate. But what are they telling you that document is?
Notification of birth. It's
There you
just
go.
that's just saying you were born.
But does that say that on the other document?
No, it doesn't.
Right.
Yes, okay, yes. Yes, okay, they extract this information and then create a legal document.
This is it.
Okay.
Have a look at the certified copy of an entry again.
Okay.
And what was the date of birth? At the top with the name.
It's written out.
So there's a date of birth there, isn't there?
Yep.
Okay. What's down on the left bottom corner? So which one would you take more?
This one,
Thank
because this is definitely notifying when you was born.
When that birth notification form gets sent to the birth registrar, they extract your information off it
Yes.
and put it on what?
This is quite interesting. You know, I have to definitely get a copy of my birth certificate and have a good look at that. Wow.
The notification of birth is the manufacturer of whatever it said,
Yeah.
and this is the logbook.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, it's not even funny, is it?
I think we should, yeah, since it's the first one. It's the first ever form about you.
Their copy, hold on a minute.
Both same documents.
Yes, a copy, because this is what I want, the original copy. So it's the original copy, but the number differs.
Okay.
It's even though I'm laughing, but it's like when you understand it and you realise what they're doing, it's not right. It's just not right at all. It's like, you know, and that's because they've gotten away with it because
Of your ignorance.
yes.
And that's where they own you, as it were. Yes. Okay.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yes. So that's the importance of us buying ourselves. Yes. Yeah.
Do you see? On that document,
This one here.
yeah, that is what? An artificial person. Because that's a corporation. Yeah?
Yes.
Now, we looked at the name. How was the name written?
Capitals.
Capital letters. So we know that artificial people or artificial persons are written in capital letters.
My birth certificate, legal forms, license, passport, bills.
Oh, it's, I mean, there's so much to digest, you know, but what is clear is that we're deceived, I suppose, in every step of the way from when we're born.
Yeah. Do you understand what that's kind of saying now?
Well, the way how my brain's thinking, I might be jumping outside the box slightly, but my brain's thinking like this. Were we designed for the purpose of the government? And, you know, this is what I'm thinking when I've just read that and just read the parties competent to contract and the artificial persons created and devised by human laws for the purpose of society and government.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So therefore, what is he then? He doesn't belong to society. What is he?
When you buy a house, you get a title deed.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, who holds the title deed when you buy the house? You do.
Yeah, that's right.
So why don't you hold the title deed when you buy the car?
Yeah, good point.
Well, by having this artificial person created that we sign over to, you know, we sign ourselves over, if you like, and become this artificial person where we don't have control over ourselves. So by buying ourselves, we would then take back what is ours, ourselves.
So do you know the different types of company?
I know a couple of them. That's it. Sole trader, limited company, and there was another one, but I can't remember how. Yeah, they're the main two I know.
So therefore, we should be understanding the terminology.
But I've been pulled by the police, and they said, "Yeah, are you the owner of the car?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah." And I was told them my name and everything. So why they asking me, "Am I the owner of the car?"
Let me ask you a question. Do you have any letters coming through your post box with full capital letter name?
A few.
Cool.
So how simple is it to buy yourself?
If somebody's writing to you in your full capital letter name, who are they writing to?
Well, going by this, they're writing to a company, a corporation, aren't they?
This is limited.
Right. Do you know any of the others?
Yeah, so you've got limited, private, you've got LLC, sole trader. Those are the ones I can think of to the top of my mind.
Well, that's the thing. It's, you know, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's because you're using so much, if you like, you're using dictionary examples of what actually these words mean. And then you have to try and refer it to documentation, which that's where it gets confusing.
Right.
Because you're then trying to link up what does this mean. Now, bear in mind, you've read this. How does that relate to this document? And why is this document different to that document?
Yeah.
You know, so then it kind of, it's you know, it's difficult to kind of put that together at the spur of the moment. You have to think about it.
Okay.
You have to think about it, you know. I mean, I know exactly what you're saying here.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what I plan to do, you know, definitely by myself, because this makes sense. The four corners, the one sheet, you know, one skin.
You know, what capitals mean and legalese, and if they use capitals as company names, then, and this says a corporation is an artificial person, then are they writing to me?
Sometimes it's very confusing. The problem is that it's confusing.
Yes.
You know, it has to be, I think, broken down in a different way, because you're kind of looking at one,
You're
cross-checking
all
the
over the
other. Yeah, it's confusing.
Totally.
You know, and that's why you have to think. Well, hold on. You know, what does that mean? What are we talking about now? It's very confusing. I think there's a simpler way
Certainly.
of how you would put this together.
So tell me something, if I can ask. Why did they not write your Christian name and forename in capital?
Good question, and we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So, perfect question.
Okay.
I hear that, but it's because you're kind of a co-checking this, and you have to read this and try and work out. It gets confusing.
Totally.
Because you're on the spot, and you think about, hold on, so a person means this. So you're trying to digest that, and now you're looking at this. And then you're trying to, so which person is that? It's, you know, it's you're forever jumping. And I think, personally, I think there needs to be a simpler way.
Yes.
Because even when I asked people for feedback on the interviews, they couldn't give a lot of feedback because they found it, they thought, that is interesting,
Yes.
but I don't know enough
Thank you.
to therefore give constructive feedback.
Yes.
And that's what I found with certain people, or a couple of people in general, where they said, well, it's like they didn't know enough to give proper feedback.
Okay.
You know, but they knew that, oh, this is interesting because, you know, why is this and why is that?
Yeah.
You know, they understood that, but then there's a whole body of evidence behind that.
Definitely.
And this is the most important thing, there's a complete different way of looking at something that you're not used to.
Totally. By writing it down in capital letters.
Yeah, absolutely. Now there's another language for them. As we know, the elites have their own.
No, because, you know, obviously we don't know, do we?
To prove if I'm the owner of the car.
Right.
But I haven't got that deed, so I can't do it.
Right.
I'm only the registered owner.
So where'd you get the deed from?
DVLA. But they're not going to give it to me, though.
Have you asked them?
No. Why are they? Kid.
So if you go into an arena to, I don't know, play chess, and you've never played chess before, but you're thrown in and you're playing chess, it's difficult to understand, well, why is he moving that way?
Yeah.
And why is he moving that way? Because that is not your understanding.
That's not your
Yeah,
perception.
that's not your perception.
This is it.
You know, so something like this, for me, needs to be broken down even more. It needs to be broken down.
The company must be me, but they're writing to me, so that could be, that's the company they're writing to, because that's a bit. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it's mind-boggling. Because if you're saying they're writing, which company they're writing to me. Then they see me as a company then, but there's no limited behind it. So am I a company? But going by this, I'm a corporation, maybe, because I'm an artificial person or legal entity.
Yes, it kind of it raises questions and curiosity. So why is this done this way? But then that opens up a bigger minefield, especially in terms of that dictionary, because most people don't, well, I say 99% of people don't know Black's dictionary and the other dictionaries you quote. They don't know that at all. So therefore, you know, you wouldn't understand what all that means.
Well, there's so much to think about. Can't think at the moment. Got a lot of information, didn't they?
This is the feudal system. It really is. For me, this just sums up the feudal system.
Totally.
And that's which is always here.
Was it entry into life?
Well, this is the question. Yeah.
And to be fair, I remember sort of in your last documentary, because I haven't even got a copy of my birth certificate, and I have to get a copy because I always use my passport. But you don't actually kind of look at it. You just think it's a birth certificate, but it's a certified copy of an entry.
Because that's what we're brainwashed to do. That's what we get. That's what we get told. That's how we get schooled. That's what we get told. So until you, as you said, until you look at all these books and read into everything, you understand. You know, we get told this is what you're meant to do. So, and you're right. Why are we liable for certain things? You know. But this is the question. It's unreal. It's just something that's unreal.
So yeah. So that's what I think. I think, you know, it's a lot to understand, and it's hard to follow unless you break it down.
Yeah.
It has to be, for me, I think it's to be broken even more.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to do this interview again, you know, because I don't think that came across very well. You know, I think that it needs to be broken down more.
Sure.
Because, I mean, in my experience, when I used to kind of, teach at work or train, you have to look at how everyone learns, and then you break it right down.
Totally.
But this is kind of complex stuff. And because it's stuff that is, it's almost like opening a new door to what you've been told, you have to kind of really drip feed it. Otherwise, you get lost.
Yes.
Everything you said, I understood. But then when you put it together,
Yes.
you have to think, well, hold on, what implied, what we're talking about now, then you'll think it's a bit confusing.
Yeah.
But when you actually, because I know exactly what you're saying now regarding buying yourself,
To see.
and, corporation and how corporations, relate to each other and contract. I understand all that, and the need to do this.